Alright, hi everybody, my name is Carrie Alder from Alder Stables, and we are here with baby Nitro. Nitro is a 5-year-old paint that I've had since he was 4 months old, and we're here today and we're going to do some trail stuff for you. Nitro hasn't really been pushed at all. I've started him, and he's done trail for the last couple of years, just walk trot. But we're going to talk to you guys today about how to teach your horse the proper way to do certain obstacles. So we have the gate here, there's a couple poles over here that we could trot or lope over. There's some cones over there you can back through, and then there's a mailbox over here with a pole. So today we're going to start with the gate, and I'm basically just going to show you what I do as far as how to teach him how to properly do this, and anything that I do as far as correcting him while we're doing it, we will discuss that. So I'm going to walk him around for a second and make sure his baby brain is still in it, and then I'm going to bring him back to the gate, and we're going to go from there. A couple things about Nitro. He likes to act like a child a lot. He likes to look around, he likes to try to eat the gate, little baby quirks like that. And like I said, I haven't pushed him at all as far as finishing him and up until the last couple months. So we're going to start walking up to the gate. We want him to be nice and easy and relaxed. Oh. And he stopped pretty straight. For a second there, I thought he was going to move, but he stayed straight. Now I'm going to make him wait for 8 seconds. As long as his head stays straight and stays focused, then we'll keep going. So I'm going to grab the gate piece, like so, and then we're going to ask him. He lost focus there for a second, so I just rolled my heels and asked him to get his face back. Now we're going to back up, hopefully straight. Oh. Good boy. Now he kind of popped his head up a little bit, so I just barely asked him to bring it back. We're going to wait again to make sure he's staying focused. Now we're going to walk through, hopefully nice and smooth, and he's paying attention and stays tight to his pole. Oh. Now he kind of came away a little bit, popped his head up just a little bit there, nothing too major, so we'll just set him back down and ask him again. So now when I go to back, I'm going to have to push a little bit of this right leg on him to get him closer to the gate, and hopefully it'll be nice and smooth. He likes, Nitro specifically, likes to push his hip away. So we're going to ask him this nice and easy. Oh, he lost focus, so we're going to ask him to set back down. We're going to back him, and I just put a little bit of right leg on, and he came over. Good boy. And we're going to back up one more step just because I'm going to be picky. He lost focus again there. Let's back up one more. Now he's going to look at the gate, because this is the part where he likes to eat it, is when it's right in his face. There we go. Oh. So not too bad. He's kind of looking at it now, so I'm just going to ask him to come back down. Nothing too major. Now if you're at home and you're going to do this with your horse, if this part specifically is too easy, your horse walks through nice and easy, keeps his head down, you don't ever really have to mess with them all that much. You can always add a pole right here in between the 2 posts, and you can even elevate it too to add some degree of, make it a little bit harder. There. Another thing that you can do, we're going to do it on the same side again just because that last time wasn't all that pretty. We thought we wanted to eat a bird's nest there. Another thing that you can do, we're a little crooked there, so I'm just going to ask him to move his hip over just a little bit so we're nice and straight. You can also put a pole on this side and another pole over here, so that way they have to stay inside the 2 poles when you get to higher levels. Even I guess at some little lower level shows they might do that to where you have to stay in. So he kept his head nice, so we're going to pick up our chain. He came up just a little bit, so I'm going to roll my heels and ask him with my hand just a little bit. He's still figuring that part out. We're going to back up nice and straight, hopefully. Oh, good boy. And he stopped right when I said ho, so that's good. I'm very vocal with my horses, so they know exactly what I want when I ask them. We're going to walk through nice and easy. Hopefully he stays nice and tight. He's getting a little too tight with a little left leg on. Oh, now he swung his hip out. I might have did a little too much leg. So we're going to ask him to get straight and set his face. And then we're going to wait. A lot of people I notice when they do lot of people, but there's a decent amount of people that will rush through things. And you don't have to rush through, especially when you're teaching a horse how to do trail. You should always, like you'll see, I'll stop him a lot. And we'll just, take our time with everything. I want him to learn when we do each thing, okay, you need to stop, your face needs to stay here for showing specifically. Sometimes he'll get too low, depends on what we're doing. But you always want to make sure that they, are focused on what you're doing, and you want it to all be not a big deal. So some horses, like Nitro's pretty good about the gait, as you can see. Right now I'm kind of doing like the fine tuning of it, of mastering the basic part of the gait. So that's why I stop him, set his face, make sure he stays right here, so next year when he shows it, or even in a couple months when he shows again, that if he has a gait, he stays right here and right where I want him the whole time. So we're going to do it now with our right hand. So if you're right-handed, like me specifically, there's two different things that you can do. Walk up, stop. Some people will change like this, or if you want, now he brought his head up a little bit because I'm messing with the reins. You can change the whole thing. It's up to you what you're comfortable with. When I used to show, legitly, I would just switch, so that way you're not thinking around, trying to do this. You might get your reins uneven then. It's just easier if you just switch your hand. Anyway, we're going back, and he wants to move his hips, and he's still learning. I should probably have mentioned that. He's still learning how to do the whole one-handed thing. So you might see me grab like this. Obviously, that's a no-no for showing. You don't want to do that. He moved his hip a little bit, and he kind of popped up a little bit, so I'm just going to bend him back the way he needs to. I'm going to push this hip over just a little bit. Now I want him to kind of bend to the right, so we have a nice, easy circle. This is kind of his worst way. So we're going to see. Now he's not wanting to kind of bend, so I'm going to do this circle again. Now I flipped my chain around, so that way I can just walk back around. And we'll see how he walks through this time. He's keeping his head pretty good. I just want a little more bend so I can see that right eye. He's kind of not wanting to get close. He's trying to lose his focus, so we're just going to flip that chain around again, and we're going to walk through again. Like I said, when you guys are teaching your trail and your gait specifically, like we're working on today, do this as many times as you need to till he, or your horse, whatever horse you have, can walk through. And he's kind of not doing it again. He's just kind of wanting to be a baby and look around and not pay attention to what I'm telling him. So I'm going to bump him, say, hey, pay attention to me, not whatever you're looking at, which could be my dog over there. So we're going to turn him. That was a little better. Oh, not perfect, but it was better. Now when we back, he's a little far away from the gate, so I'm going to push a little bit of that left leg on. He's not wanting to get off of my leg, so I'm just going to ask him again. There. Good boy. Nope. Stop. Nope. So he wanted to do it again, so we're going to walk back up. Whereas that's a no-no. We don't move away from the gate. Like I said, do it as many times as you need to. There. Good boy. Now we're going to back up a couple more steps. Good boy. And he kept his head nice and still. He kind of looked up a little at the end there, so I'm going to bump him down. And usually if I bump him down, like if I'm doing real work or anything else, I make him wait about 8 seconds before I do anything. I want him to keep his head in that same spot, not looking around for 8 seconds. And if he does that, then we'll reward him, and walk off. So now we're coming up to the gate. He's keeping his head in the same spot. So I'm going to grab this. He still kept it. We're going to ask him to back. We lost our focus there. He didn't really want to. We're going to try and get his head straight. Now he kind of, good boy. He kind of came off of the gate a little there. So there I said, he didn't want to stop. So I just gave him a bump to say, hey, I told you to stop. He's trained that when you squeeze, that means back up. So when you release, he's supposed to stop. As far as backing goes. If you're on the wall and you say, you're supposed to squeeze, and then he'll stop. But backing-wise, if you release your heels, he should stop. Now there he didn't, so I gave him just a little bump with my heels, saying, hey, I told you to stop. He kind of looked up a little bit there, so I bumped him back down. He's being good now, so we're going to ask him to walk through. Nice forward walk. We're turning nice, and be straight. tell him, come back down here. So that would be the basics of your gait. And like I said, if that gets too easy, you can add a pole, an elevated pole, put a pole on the outsides of it so that way he has to stay right there. Oh, so that was pretty good. The next thing that I have over here, we have a mailbox with a pole. We're just going to start nice and easy with that. And it's a pretty basic element for the most part. Some, you know, if it gets too easy, usually what you'll do, I guess I'll back up a little bit. What you'll do is you're going to walk up. You want to get close to your mailbox. He lost focus there. And pull. He kind of hit his pole there a little bit. And I added a pole because he's been doing the mailbox since he was 4 months old and it's nothing major. But so what you'll do is you'll walk up. I have flowers in here. They're a little messed up. And then you'll put your flowers back in. Close your mailbox. He kept his head the whole time, so that was good. I didn't have to tell him anything. So him walking up and over poles, kind of easy. He did tink it just a little bit. Nothing too major. Now if that gets too easy, good. Oh, no, we tunked it again. If that gets too easy, you can always trot around, lope around, and stop on the pole. You can always side pass over your pole. Nitro's still learning the one-handed thing, but we can give it a shot and see how it goes. Now when you go to do the side pass part, if your legs, your body should be shoulders, hips, and heels in a straight line. Now, if your body isn't in that position, say your legs are way up here where they're not supposed to be, this isn't going to work for you. But you want to think, you should look down your leg, and you should see that pole right underneath your leg. Now, for him, nope, we lost a little focus. You lean back a little bit to your right, and you're going to bump with this right leg. And like I said, he's still learning the one-handed thing, so we'll see how it goes. And he's still learning the headset thing. So I'm just going to do 2 steps. Oh, stop him and tell him to come back down just a little bit. He came up a little bit, nothing crazy. But I still, like I said, for when he goes to shows, he needs to stay solid in that spot. Right now he's a little too low, but that's okay. We're going to ask him to come over a little bit. He popped up just a little bit. We lost our front end there a second. And pull. And I'm just going to tell him, hey, yeah, the dogs are getting this focus now. Just tell him, hey, this is where I want you. You open your mailbox. I'm a little close, but I was trying to fix him. So we're going to close it. Now we're going to side pass back. Same thing. Lift down your leg this way. To go to the right, we're going to lean back into our left hip. Or I'm sorry, back into our left, hip. And then you're going to bump with your left leg and kind of think, oh, we lost focus. We're going to do it again. We'll lose there. Good boy. And you'll see my hands kind of move because he's still trying to figure it out. I've got to help him just a little bit while he's still learning. And we're just going to tell him, hey, I want you to come back here. Now he did it pretty good, nothing too crazy. We'll try a trot over and see how that goes. I haven't done many of those. That's Nitro's trot cue, is a click, click, kiss, which he did pretty good on the takeoff. So we're going to bring him around. I think the first time I'm going to trot him over it. So I'm going to aim for the middle of the pole, and I'm going to have to kind of push him a little bit. Good boy. He lost focus just a little, so I roll my heels and kind of bump him with my hand just a little bit. And he's getting a little fast, so I'm just going to lightly squeeze with my heels so he understands to slow down. He's kind of looking outward, nothing too fancy though. This time we're going to come in, and I'm going to stop him on the middle, hopefully. Oh. So we tunked it. Nothing too bad though. I mean, he's over it. We're a little too far forward. Ideally, we want, we're going to stand here for a second and just relax him because he's wanting to move too much. Ideally, when you stop, you should stop with that leg right over the pole. So that way, if you have to side pass, then you're right there ready to go. You don't have to back up like I just did. So I'm going to ask him to walk off of the pole. That was good. Ask him to pick up his trot again, see if we can get it a little prettier. Good boy. We're going to come around, see if we can correct it a little bit. He was thinking originally that we're going to keep going. So maybe this time, now that we did one where he stopped, we can get him to do it a little better. He's looking around. Let's focus him up before we get back. Oh, good. And right now I can look down, pulls right on my leg. We're just going to side pass just a step. Hey, no. So we're going to make him wait a second because he was thinking, hey, we're going to go forward. He wasn't paying attention. There you go. So we just did a step so I can get that mailbox right here. Now we're going to side pass it back off of it. So we lean back into our left, bump left leg. We're losing our hip. So I'm going to kind of pull his head a little to the left so I can straighten his hip out just a little bit. Now with him, if I want him to move his butt, we move our lower leg back just a little bit. Now if I want him to move his front end, we move our leg forward just a little bit. And then when your legs are right here, that's his, I'm going to go forward, you're going to stop, slow down, whatever cues you want. But to move the hind end, you move your leg back just a little bit. To move the front end, you do your leg forward just a little bit. So I'm going to turn him around, we're going to do the mailbox the other way. We'll try and trot over it again, see what we got. You always want to do things on both sides, so that way they understand how to do both sides. Their brains, they have two different side brains. So you want to make sure that you do everything. We're going to trot over it first. Good job. I mean, he likes to push his booty a lot, so when you show him, you kind of have to learn to keep your butt down and make it look like he's not really pushing you all that much. We're losing focus a little. He's looking outward. I'm just going to bump him a little. This time we're going to try stop in the middle of the pole, and you might hit it because we just trotted over it. Oh, good job. Okay, so that one was a nice one. He stopped right there. We're a little forward, but he did stop right over it, and like I said, I haven't done a whole lot with this. So I'm going to ask him to walk off. We already did our side passes both ways. I don't want to make this video super long. The other thing we have over here is a bridge. Bridges are pretty easy, as long as your horse isn't afraid of them, I suppose. Nitro's been doing this for a long time. I'm going to rub his face down so he gets a good look at it. We want to try and stay right in the middle of the bridge, which he did. We're going to come around. And I'm going to pick up my trot. We got two poles right over here. And what we want is for him to get 2 steps in between those 2 poles. It's set apart for him to get 2 steps. So, his little ring-a-dink jog that he's got, and we're not focused, so I'm going to have to try to keep him focused while we get over here. He's still wanting to look around, so that might not be pretty when we go over this. I'm going to start pushing him forward. 1, 2, just like that. Good job. That could have went badly since he wasn't wanting to pay attention to me, but he did that pretty well. Almost a little bit, if you can get it to where they're not, I lost my train of thought. You can get it to where they don't have to move forward as much as he does. He needs a little help right now. Good job. That one was much better. So that's the goal, is for you to be able to get him to go over it and not have to push you super hard. You want to be able to do everything with not a lot of hand. The more that you can talk to your horse, like right there, I just said, I didn't have to use any hand. That's your goal. You want to be able to have your horse be your partner and be able to do these maneuvers and have it look flawless, basically. You guys want to be a team. You know, you don't want to have to be pulling on them, and take your time about your trail. And 20 minutes a day on trail, every time you ride, just 20 minutes of just doing a pole or the bridge or whatever, that'll help you in the long run. I think a lot of people will go into a show, lower level, I wouldn't say higher levels necessarily, but at your lower level shows, and just take their horse in because they want to, go for the high point, and they don't practice it at home. So when they get in there, their horse is kind of like, oh my gosh, what is this? You got a gait, and they don't understand it, and then you guys are trying to just basically wing it. It's not really fair to you or your horse. You want to be able to show them how to do this the right way. And like I said, it's not a time thing. Just bring them in and take your time with everything and just show them the right way to do it. So what I'm going to do is, this was today's session. I'm just going to we talked about, the mailbox, the gate, bridge, poles. Next time we do this, I'll probably throw something else into it and talk about some other obstacles that you can have, maybe a back through chute or something. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment and ask me and I can help you. So anyway, thank you for joining me.